Is driving for Uber Eats worth it in 2020? Well, I want to welcome you to another video. This is episode 2. And in this video, I interviewed my brother Matt, coming to you from Pittsburgh, PA. And we're going to answer that very question. So how's it going today?
Pretty good. It's another good week to drive, and happy to be on again. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great response from the last episode. So I'm excited to be back here. So how was last week? How much did you drive, and generally, how was it for you?
So I drove during the week. So the way that my personal schedule works, I like to use my free weekends with my girlfriend. She works every other weekend. I like to spend those weekends with her, and then I drive a lot more like this coming weekend when she is working. So last weekend was a little light. I drove during the day, I drove during the weekdays, but all in all, it's pretty good.
Okay, well, cool. I know the last episode you were driving, you were like close to full-time hours on that 1 week, right? What was it this past week?
I know I drove at least 5 hours, I believe, over 2 or 3 days. So again, it was pretty light, but again, we'll get into the numbers. I think the numbers were pretty good, but that's the beauty of it. You can drive as much or as little as you want, and it happened to be a pretty busy week for me.
Well, I think it's all about flexibility, right? You mentioned, you drive when you can, when your schedule allows it. Maybe 1 week you drive more, 1 week you drive less. So about 5 or so hours. Do you know how much you made last week? And it sounds like this coming weekend, maybe next week, you're going to get back into what? Closer to part-time-ish hours, 30-ish hours or so?
Yeah, so this weekend, this whole week is going to be a really big week. So that should be really awesome to go over with you guys. But last week, I know I drove, like we said, maybe 5 hours, 8 hours, and that's okay. But I want to bring people back something we mentioned on the first video, were your goals. So set a goal, and I know based on how much I drove last week, what I need to do to stay on track, if you will, this week for my goals.
Right, because you have earnings goals, right? You have things that you're saving up for, and this is important if you're watching this. Why are you doing the side hustle, right? Why are you doing the side? Most answers, I would say, are to generate income, right? Generate secondary income. I know there's a percent of you out there that do this for full-time income. So it's important, like Matt mentioned, to have goals, because otherwise, you're just driving blind, right? You'll say, I'm just going to go online and drive for however long. So next week and this weekend, do you have an earnings goal? Let's talk about that. Or even an hours goal. What do you want to make, let's say, per hour? How much do you want to make for the week, or I guess, the cluster that you're driving? Then how many hours do you think you're going to have to do it in?
Yeah. So for everyone watching, my goal during the week, and we talked about it on the first video, breaking down those goals, is $100 for 2 or 3 days, $100 a day during the week. So I drive probably 2.5 hours a day after work. And it's crazy, right? We talk about hustle to make that happen, because my girlfriend gets off of work, she comes home, so there's a block of time I can do this. I wake up early and I do some errands so I can drive later. I mean, it sounds crazy, but think about, like Mike said, why are you driving? For me, it's to hit some amazing goals. So this weekend, my goal financially is $400. And if you're driving, and I know a lot of you, we've been talking, Mike and I, it's very doable, especially here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. I mean, you have the number, and it is doable, guys. I asked you, and if you're new to the channel, this channel, it's dedicated to your success in this gig economy, this side hustle. And I got a lot of engagement when I asked you in a community tab how much you want to make this week. So if you're watching this video, let us know down in the comment section, what are your goals for the week? And even just today, do you try to hit $100 a day? Well, let me circle back to that. So your goal is $100 a day, which I think is a strong goal. And guys, if you're curious, if you can make $200 a day with Uber Eats, check out the card above after this video, of course. So let's talk about that. How doable is $100 a day on Uber Eats? Do you think that you can hit it most days? And tell me about the bonuses. Are you driving on a lot of bonuses to hit that $100?
Yeah, so I'll break down the question for everyone watching. It's absolutely doable to do $100 a day. And you don't have to drive all day. So how do you do that? Like what Mike said, you want to pick up those bonuses. So think about the busy times of day. Lunchtime, dinner time is when you're going to get back-to-back stacked bonus orders. And that's what I do. I drive right after work. I go home, let the dog out, and then I go right back out there for a few hours. So a lot of my rides, I did 4 rides today. So I had a light day. I had some things to do. I had 4 rides, averaging $13 of my take-home payment on each one of those trips on average. So I did around $55. So it's absolutely doable, guys. And again, know those busy times, and then know those busy areas.
Well, $13 an average, that's fantastic. And if you're watching this video, my goal for you in watching the tips on this channel is you need to be looking at orders of an average of $7, because I know a lot of markets vary. Some get lesser bonuses, some get much higher bonuses. But at a very minimum, you should be looking at a $7 per delivery. Why $7? Well, below that, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth your time? And I also want you to look at the dollars to mile ratio. How many miles are you driving to get that earnings, right? Because you obviously want to make sure you're not wasting your time. So last week, you drove 5-ish hours, let's say. It was a shorter week on the driving. And then this coming weekend, when you have some free time, and next week you're going to be driving more. So if you guys aren't aware, Matt's getting back into Uber Eats. He had joined me way back in 2015. We were both driving for Uber and Lyft at the time, making really good money. So now he's just getting kind of back into Uber Eats. So I guess as a, let's say, quote unquote, newer driver here in 2020, if I was a newer driver here in 2020, so what do I need to know if I'm driving Uber Eats? How should I be prepared? Just give me a quick kind of jump start for a new driver, because I know a lot of people are new right now with everything going on. People are looking for ways to generate income.
Yeah. So again, and I love talking to you guys, anyone watching, if you're thinking about it, number one, whenever we started Uber, I said to myself, this is a brand new thing. Is it something I'm going to be comfortable doing? So now we're talking Uber Eats. Are you going to be comfortable getting out of your car to go into a restaurant to drop some food to the customer? And what I would say is just try it. So you can always try it for 30 minutes, an hour, 1 day a week. And then you'll see that the flexibility and especially the pay is amazing. So a tip that I would give, because like Mike said, I'm kind of getting into the Uber Eats. It's new for me. I've done rideshare a lot, but you want to take a smart time to drive. So don't stay out for Uber Eats or any type of food delivery too late, because I realized when I was out and I made a few deliveries that a lot of restaurants, especially when we talk about 2020, are closing early because of these mandates. So keep that in mind. Now, there's a lot of places like, traditionally a lot of pizza deliveries, they stay open later. So I'm not discouraging you from driving late, but just know your area, kind of know just in general what's open, what's closed. And this goes for early in the morning as well. Don't get up too early because you beat everybody else and there's no one up yet to order food. So those are some quick tips.
Well, that's a very powerful tip, because you know what, I know you mentioned you were out there sometimes at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and you're like, hey, I'm hustling, I'm out here working, and then the app wasn't doing anything. So let's lean into that, guys. Just to reiterate what Matt said here, is the hustle's great. I love it. We all love that you're out there hustling, but be smart, right? The old adage is work smarter, not harder. So yes, while it's great to be out there at certain times, no one is really worth it to be out there. I think you would agree with that, right? That's kind of what you're just talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. In a nutshell, know when to drive and where to drive, where those restaurants are that are busy.
Yeah, very good. So guys, if you are new, I would also do this. And Matt leveraged some of the tips here that I mentioned to you. Is it signing up for other apps as well? So I know that you're getting back in Uber Eats, right? And you signed up for DoorDash. How's that process going? Did you sign up for any other apps, or are you looking at just DoorDash right now as well?
So I just signed up for DoorDash. initially while doing Uber Eats, and I actually just got my welcome package today.
Great.
So I didn't even share this with Mike yet. So you're
No.
kind of seeing this live, guys. I just got my packet in the mail.
Excellent.
And it comes with a cooler bag, and there's steps to get activated, and it's exciting.
Did you get your red card?
I did.
Nice. That's fantastic. This is one of the tips that I tell you guys. Really, for some time, is download as many apps as you can. You want to leave no stone unturned when it comes to incentives. Well, I'm excited because now Matt has another tool in his arsenal. He can say, okay, well, maybe I was out there at 7 a.m. with Uber Eats. And now I know, well, hey, there's a $2.50 promo on DoorDash. So now he has more options to take advantage of when he's on the road. Well, that's fantastic. Well, hey, I know we're both busy. Guys, if you're watching this, if you have any questions for Matt, driving for Uber Eats, let us know down below in the comments so we can get those questions answered. And if you get value from videos like this, finding out from a real driver how driving is in 2020, driving for Uber Eats, make sure to leave a like on this video. Matt, again, thanks for being here as always. I know we're both very busy, coming to us from Pittsburgh, PA. Any closing remarks? Talking about DoorDash, getting activated there, anything with Uber Eats, anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, some exciting videos coming up in the field. If you haven't checked out the last one that I put out for Mike's channel, check it out. Live footage showing you from a prospective driver driving live. It's awesome.
Well, that's a great callback because that's a video that we linked earlier, guys. Go watch that video now. And if you do have a side hustle, that's why you're here. Make sure to check out the first link in my description. That's from my Amazon storefront. So you can make sure you have the very best accessories. And also you can click or tap the screen right now for my most recent video, as well as a video recommended for you. And we will see you in the next one.